Good morning. I would like to thank you for allowing us to come before you today to share our CBA experiences in Wilmington, Delaware. Hope the information is interesting and beneficial. South Wilmington, or Southbridge, is a residential community which began in the 1860s. Original inhabitants were Polish. Current inhabitants are African Americans. We have largely female-headed households. This is not up there. Female-headed households, high unemployment, high dropout rate for our students in school, subsidized housing, private renters, and homeowners. Our ratio of homeowner to renters is 60-40. Before you see a map of the Southbridge community. In Southbridge, we have an agency, the Neighborhood House, provides child care to senior citizen services. The agency has been in the community for over 80 years. The Henry Johnson Medical Center is a community-based health provider. It has been in the community for over 35 years. And it's named after the first female African-American elected to the State General Assembly in Delaware. Labor unions, International Longshoremen's Association, that's stevedores, Labor's Union Local Number 99. Those are two of the major unions that are housed in the Southbridge community. Churches, 12 to 14 community churches. We are a population, based on the census, of between 1,900 and I would suggest 22 to 2,300. We have 12 to 14 churches. It's been said that we are the most blessed community in the city of Wilmington. Southbridge Civic Association, the history. It began in 1958, and it was started by started by the wife of one of the ministers of the church in South Wilmington, Mount Joy Church. We have an ongoing membership. There's no requirement. If you're a resident, you're a member. There's an annual fee of $10. We usually don't get that fee, but we function anyway. Community benefit agreements. Julian Gross. Julian Gross came to Wilmington as a result of a request on our part. He conducted a half-a-day workshop on community benefit agreements. The participants of that workshop included political office holders, city administration personnel, state office personnel, community, and ministers. Ken Christ is a lawyer at the Widener Law School in Wilmington. His services were pro bono, thankfully, and he helped draft the CBA benefit agreement. So, South Wilmington Coalition for a Sustainable Community. One of the things that Julian Gross emphasized during the workshop was that we had to have broad-based community representation for a coalition. The coalition is a 14-member body consisting of executive directors of the provider agencies, presidents of the local unions, Ministers Alliance, business representation, and naturally the Civic Association. And its mission is to ensure that economic development and land use planning decisions affecting South Wilmington bring measurable, permanent improvement to the lives of residents. Our vision, a vibrant, thriving community obtainable for low to moderate income families by advocating for living wages, employment, economic and business ownership opportunities. Our values: equity, accountability, integrity, inclusiveness, and empowerment. Our objectives: negotiating CBAs with private and public sector developers, securing the use of union labor and labor entities that incorporate training and apprenticeship opportunities, livable wages for jobs created with a preference for full-time permanent jobs to be located in the community, advocating for environmentally sound policies and practices. Community benefits. What we were asking for in the contract and was agreed to was that 20% of construction would go to minority contractors, 20% of jobs, full and part-time, for local area residents, ongoing support for our 20-year SAMP plan. And SAMP is the Special Area Management Plan spoken to earlier. And let me just pause here, because this is not on the screen. In preparing for the presentation, knowing that it was about CBAs, this was not included in my presentation, but afterwards I thought it was very important because the community was working very closely with the State Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control. Two of their staff members, David Carter, Susan Love, were instrumental in getting the federal government to fund a spatial area management plan for Southbridge. That plan was a 2-year process on the part of the federal government, the state of Delaware, city government, and especially the community. And what we have done is develop a 20-year revitalization plan, comprehensive revitalization plan for our community. Designated truck routes. When the developer indicated that trucks would be transporting their product back and forth, what we asked was that the developer not allow those trucks to come through our community. So what is in the plan is that if trucks are a violation of the recognized truck route, there will be a $500 fine for that truck. And that fine comes back to the community for our benefit. We also asked for a 24-hour toll-free hotline in the event that neighbors had problems with their processing, and that is also in the plan. Benefits to the developer: support requests for zoning variances, support requests for infrastructure assistance, and local support for state permits. Ongoing CBA benefits, the process. Southbridge Civic Association manual. What we are doing now is we realized that we needed to document our experiences. So we're in the process of developing a user's manual, or how do it manual, which will include what is a CBA, importance of a CBA, how to develop a CBA, community coalition, and we're also developing a website. Port of Wilmington CBA, March 2011. The contract, CBA, with Peninsula Compost was our first successful CBA contract. March of this year, we successfully completed our second contract with port contractors who plan to transport and process and ship overseas what is called coke petroleum. Again, the benefits to the community are similar to the ones under our initial contract. That is jobs, no trucks coming to the community, 24-hour hotline. Community satisfaction with business neighbors. It's been relatively good. The negotiations were not knocked down, drag out. Very amenable. There are some individuals still who did not, nor do they want the developer in the community. They were adamant about that. But during our sessions, the coalition decided that the benefits to the community outweighed any adverse effects on Southbridge. And at this point, we are working well with the developers, and they are considered good neighbors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Marvin, for the perspective of the Southbridge Civic Association in this process. We're going to hear next from Nelson Wydell, who is the co-founder of the Peninsula Compost Company. Nelson has 30 years of experience in the composting industry. He was a founding member of the U.S. Composting Council. He's developed and constructed 12 composting facilities in the United States and overseas. So, Nelson, happy to have you here.
Thank you.